Hello, my fellow speakers. This is Brian, the speaker for the dead, coming to you today with another video, a video that I've actually had to do 3 times now because I've been having trouble with a new webcam that I bought that has a mic in it that I didn't know was there and can't deactivate, and it's having cross competitions with this one. So, yeah, well, anybody wants a $60 webcam, let me know because I can't use it. Anyway, so I wanted to do this video today because I wanted to do kind of a happy video. I've been doing a lot of videos and they've been kind of ranty and unhappy and really this is going to just be more of the same. Yeah, I know, right? Because see, I wanted to do a happy video. I really did. Problem is as the week went on and the news was breaking about different things and different stuff, like none of it was happy, or none of, like, it was hard to find a happy spin on this, and it's just like so I'm gonna work really hard to keep permagrin on my face, so that even though, those news readers that read like this and they're like, and the decapitated body was found in the dumpster. Over to you, Steve. Yeah, I'm going to try and pull one of those off, with one of the happy face talking about death and destruction, because I feel like that's what I'm doing a lot. Talking about death and destruction, and I'm not doing it nearly cheerfully enough. So let's get right into it and talk about, because this is just another week in review kind of video, because there's a lot of creators out there and they're doing like the same videos over and over and over and over again, and about the same subjects. And I appreciate the fact that those guys are passionate about those things, and those girls that are doing this. But it's like sometimes I just feel like, tone it down, guys. It's okay. We're not all gonna die, and just and really being unhappy about a lot of stuff, and which I understand. I feel very much the same way they do, but after a while you're just like, guys, just can we give it a rest for a minute? Anyway, so but we're going to talk about some of those very same things. I just don't want to bombard you with lots of videos about the same exact thing. I'd rather do one video, cover a bunch of subjects, and give you kind of an overview of what I think about all of it. That way I feel like you're getting the most use out of your time when you're watching my videos, instead of just feeling like, oh, good Lord, he's making another one. Because they got one more detail. Oh, yay. So let's talk about Star Wars. Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. Yeah, because everybody's talking about Star Wars. At least everybody that I listen to on YouTube is like, every little detail that comes up, they're just like, did you hear what happened today? Did you hear what happened today? There's a new rumor out. It's just, I can't take it. Some of the rumors are interesting, and some of them are just like, guys, you're clearly being trolled here. You're clearly they're just throwing crap out. They're throwing everything against the wall, hoping they can get you to keep talking about it, because the more you talk about it, the more you drum up, there is no such thing as bad press. I mean, I guess there can be, but it's pretty rare. Most of the time, anytime you're talking about something, that's free advertising. Good or bad, people are just like, oh, maybe I ought to go look into it, So I don't know if you're having the effect that you think you are. So I think we need to be careful how much we give attention to some of these things, because I think sometimes we can actually help the very things we're trying to kind of box into a corner so they don't keep getting made. But this Rise of Skywalker has been a big deal. Everybody's been like, oh, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. And I'm very much of the wait and see, and see what happens on this. But the big news really this week is about the new Bob Iger book that just came out, basically confirming that Disney pretty much screwed George Lucas over. Who's surprised? Oh, boy, I didn't see that. Disney, the root of all evil, screwed somebody over? What? And it's sad because, when I was growing up, and I'm 45, Disney was a great company. They were an amazing company. And And I wish that they were still that company that I remember, but they are not. Men like Bob Iger and Jeffrey, or not, I can't remember the guy's name that was before him that was there forever. I was going to say Jeffrey Katzenberg, but that's not the right guy. Has just run this company into a woke, politically correct company of nightmarish epic proportions. I mean, this is the guy who was just all like, hey, Georgia passed a life bill where we can't kill babies anymore, so we're not working there. Really? I'm okay. Happy thoughts. I know. I gotta keep this permagrin going. But, I mean, seriously, who didn't see this coming? We all knew George wasn't happy. How could anybody who created something great like George did with the creation of Star Wars and kept it going and an epic thing for decades be happy about the fact that the company he sold to was trashing everything he'd ever built? You thought he was going to be happy about that? I mean, nobody who created Star Wars could look at The Last Jedi and go, oh yeah, that's what I had in mind. That's totally what I was envisioning. An Asian girl who's been dressed to look like a sack of potatoes, a bunch of lifeless, pointless characters that nobody is ever going to like, ever. And the wokeness and the female virtue signaling and the feminist, all men are dumb. All men are dumb and just misogynists. They just need to shut up and get over there and listen to us women. Anyway, so I mean, sorry, slipped there for a second. But I mean, we knew this was coming. We knew this was going to happen. I mean, Disney is not the company they were when I was growing up, when they were making great cartoons and everything was morally founded and morally centered and they taught good lessons and all that kind of stuff. And now, the only lessons they're teaching are immoral, disgusting, horrible, anti-American. I don't know. I really just don't know. But I mean, we all knew this was going to go bad, and I mean, it's obvious George isn't happy with what's being done to Star Wars. But because of what Disney's done to Star Wars, it's flopping. It's going downhill. They are terrified for what's going to happen with Rise of Skywalker because they have crapped on their fans. They have supported all the wrong things. They have tried to get out all the wrong messages. Galaxy's Edge, their new theme parks, are flopping. Nobody wants to go to them because they're not Star Wars. They're Disney Star Wars. They're new Star Wars. They're not Star Wars that we all grew up with, that we all inspired our kids to like and love. I mean, seriously, nobody wants this. Nobody wants Galaxy's Edge. They wanted Tatooine. They wanted Mos Eisley. They wanted the Millennium Falcon in familiar surroundings without any freaking porgs covering it. I mean, they wanted Star Wars, like this picture that's over my head right here, the 40th anniversary. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted in Galaxy's Edge. Look at that poster. That's what they wanted. That's not what we got. We got porgs and a place we've never heard of. I mean, they didn't do Yavin. They didn't do Yavin 4. They didn't do any of the iconic worlds that they could have done. So it's so sad that they really flubbed this opportunity to make a great Star Wars theme park that would have made them billions of dollars back. They have Star Wars with Luke and Leia, and I mean, they trotted those guys out for the grand opening, but that theme park had nothing to do with their Star Wars. What just a shamockery of travesty, Star Wars injustice. Terrible. Right? But we should all smile. Smile and be happy. Go to the Magic Kingdom that really is not that magical anymore. So, I mean, that's where we are, so it's kind of sad. But, that brings me to the end of the Star Wars segment for the day, and leads me to this bit of good news. Gandalf, right? Greatest character ever in Lord of the Rings. I mean, they're all great characters. The actors did an immense job, but Ian McKellen was absolutely awesome. Super awesome. And it just was an epic series of films done back to back, so the continuity was there, and the actors didn't age out of the roles, and I mean, it really was just super great for what it was. And Ian McKellen was the perfect choice for Gandalf. He was so serious and so good about the role, and he was so concerned about doing it the way Tolkien wanted it done. He wanted to be the Gandalf that Tolkien wrote, which tells you he's a good actor. He wasn't trying to make the character like him. He was trying to become the character. That's what makes a great actor. That's the difference between Ian McKellen and Michael Gambon, who played Dumbledore. Now, two people played Dumbledore in those movies, and I just lost the guy's Richard Harris, pardon me. Richard Harris played him originally in the first two movies, was great, was the perfect Dumbledore, was what Dumbledore was supposed to be. And then he passed away, so they recast it with Michael Gambon, and Michael Gambon is the worst. I'm sure he's a very nice man, but he is a terrible actor. Every character he plays is Michael Gambon. He doesn't know how to become somebody else. He's Gandalf he's Michael Gambon playing the role of Gandalf being Michael Gambon. Yeah. He didn't act like he was written in the books. He didn't act, anyway, but that's the difference. This is a great character portrayal, great actor. I mean, two great versions of Gandalf, Gandalf the Grey, Gandalf the White. So awesome. So awesome. But you know what could make it even better? Yeah. This could make it better. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now here we are. This is the Gandalf we've all been asking for. Yeah, right? Uh-huh. Well, it's the Gandalf that this dumb twit is asking for. This is Robin Malcolm. She played a bit part in The Lord of the Rings and thinks that she knows everything about Lord of the Rings. She is just so smart, just so good. And you know what? She thinks Gandalf should be a girl, a woman. That would make Gandalf really great in the new Amazon Netflix. I don't know who's doing the series. I don't really care at this point, because if this is what they end up going with, if they're trying to make Tolkien like modernized and woke and up to date with today's morals and standards, and somebody's got to be a transvestite and somebody's got to be gay, and we got to have gay horses and gay orcs, and oh my God. I'm sorry, it was slipping there. Happy thoughts. I can do this. So yeah, this crazy lady, Robin Malcolm, thinks that Gandalf should be a girl. 'Cause girls just got it going on, sweetie. It's all about girl power now. Make all the men gay. Make all the men girls. Make all of them transvestite. No more white man power. Ooh, nuh-uh. Get out of here. Get out of here with your stupid PC nonsense. Stop trying to ruin everything that made things great. You know what? Gandalf isn't a title. Gandalf was his name. He was a character written in literature by a person who had the right to create what he wanted, how he wanted it, and it was not supposed to be subjected to some bimbo twit, 100 years, 50 years, 60 years, however long it's been since Tolkien originally wrote those books, for you to come in afterwards and tell him he got it all wrong. If you don't like what he did, go write your own series of books, but stop trying to change things that aren't yours to change, you freaks. I mean, you lovely people who no one should listen to ever. So that brings us to this. That brings us to the Joker. Now, I was already interested in this film, but the news is out this week that it is just driving the libtards and the SJWs and the Looney Tunes out there up the wall, because this could create copycats. Don't you realize you could go out there and make people think it's okay to kill people? Because this will be the first movie that Hollywood's ever done where a character's been a homicidal maniac. Are you kidding? No, the problem here is that this is a character who is a white, heterosexual, male character. So we've got to crap on it. Because this movie might be really good and really successful, and we've got to stop that. They'll reestablish the patriarchy. Anyway, so this nightmare is just getting better and better. But you know what? I'm actually interested in this film more now than I was originally because it's ticking them off. And anything that ticks them off is on the right track. You know, anything. I mean, anything. So I'm excited for this film to come out, and I think it'll probably end up being good. I hope he's more the funny Joker. Everybody loves how Heath Ledger did it, and Heath did a great job. But I think Mark Hamill's voice for the animated series captured the Joker probably better than almost anybody ever. Because he brought that fun. He made the Joker the clown prince of crime, which is what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be that character. He's not supposed to be just psychotically deranged homicidal maniac. He's supposed to be a deranged homicidal maniac with a crazy sense of humor. And that's what makes him such an interesting character, is he can laugh and giggle about these crazy things he's doing. And you just kind of sit there going, that's terrible. You know, so it's just such a counterbalance to what's happening, you know, that it really makes him really one of the most interesting villains in the DC universe, and makes him the greatest foil for Batman, you know, to take on. I love that about the Joker, and I hope they get that right this time. He isn't just a deranged lunatic. Is that he is still the comedian that he started out to be. So I hope they really do, you know, do something great with this, and I hope it just drives the liberals nuts. I hope it just makes them crazy because it's absolutely on PC, and it just makes $1 billion. That would be awesome. So that brings us to this news. Now, this broke late in the week, and I wasn't even going to really talk about it. And then I thought, well, it's a pretty important thing in the genre of the things that I like, so I better talk about it. But the rumor is, and it's been broke by, I think, Vanity Fair and a couple other places, that Spider-Man is confirmed to be going back into the MCU. Sony and Marvel finally made a deal where they're going to allow Kevin Feige to come back in and make the movie. It's going to be done under the Sony banner, and then they're going to have Spider-Man in one, possibly two more Marvel MCU films, like in an ensemble kind of way. Now, Doomcock reported that the original theory was that they were going to introduce Spidey into the next Captain Marvel films to you know, because he's so friendly and good, and Tom Holland plays him so well and is just unbelievably likable and relatable. And Brie Larson and Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, just is none of that at all. Not even a little. So they really, but I don't want them to do that. I do not want them to ruin Spider-Man for the sake of that plank of wood. That horrible actress who doesn't belong anywhere on a movie set ever, because she brings her social justice nonsense into her work. And that is not the place for it. It is not the place for it. Not now, not ever. Leave your politics out the door. Stop trying to force your politics into our movies and into our entertainment. We don't want it. We don't go to your movies to be politically indoctrinated. We don't go there to see you try and change women into being men. I had this discussion with my daughter this morning. You know, the amazing thing about women is that they're not men, and that they can do things that men can't do, and they can act and behave in a way that men can't. They're strong in ways that men aren't, and men are strong in ways that they aren't. That's why they're the perfect combination. Now, doesn't mean women aren't crazy. I'm married to one, so I know that better than most. But I don't want them to do this to Spider-Man. I do not want them to put him into a Captain Marvel movie to make her relatable and fun, because she just isn't, and it's going to come off as fake, and Spider-Man will be damaged in the attempt. I was actually kind of pleasantly surprised when Sony took him away, because I thought, I don't like where Marvel's going, the way they're talking about Thor Love and Thunder and what they're going to do with that travesty. I just, the Thor Ragnarok, I love that, but if they're going to do in Love and Thunder what they say and what they're going to do in all the new Marvel movies they're talking about, I'm not interested, because they're just going to try and crush all the male white characters and supplant characters with people of color and people of Asian descent and people of Hispanic descent and transvestites and transgenders and whatever. And I just, you know what? I want you to give roles to people because they're great actors and they're great for the roles, not because of they've got the certain PC skin color, or they have the right ethnic background, or they're Muslim, or they're this, or they're that. I just, please stop. For the love of Pete. Movies were best when they were cast by actors. They were cast with actors who were great actors, not because they had any physical attribute that was, made them politically correct. Please stop, Hollywood. You're ruining everything. And you'll go broke. Sooner or later, people will just be like, I'm tired of this. I'm not going anymore. So, I didn't go see the last Spider-Man in the theater because I was just like, they could go rogue with this. And I'm kind of out of the Marvel thing till they prove to me they're not going down this road. I'll watch it maybe in home video sales and stuff like that, but I'm not going to the theaters to pay hard money to see this nightmarish stuff if that's where they're going to go with their films, because I'm not going to be proselyted to by some liberals. I have no desire to do that. Nope, not at all. So, and I feel like I kind of am vindicated on Spider-Man, because I told everybody in one of my videos, just wait and see. This could be great. It could be not great. He could end up back in the MCU. He could not end up. Let's just wait and see what happens. And now everybody's just like, oh, he's back in. It's just like, well, yeah, we always kind of knew that was a possibility. But everybody's got to try and be first, and everybody's got to try and be the bestest, biggest, most knowledgeable YouTuber out there. And it's just like, how about we just get it right when it actually comes, and then we comment on the real facts, because that's what people want. People want to hear what's really happening, not all the rumor mongering and because if you're just a gossip whore, how are you any different than the national media? How are you any different from those people who just make up stories to make up stories so that they've got something to say? You're not. You're the same thing. And I thought the whole idea was us to try and not be the mainstream media, because we wanted to be individual content creators. So let's do that. Saying the media brings me to my last point. Now, this one's a political one. Yeah, that's right. Donald Trump. They're doing an impeach hearing or an impeach inquiry. They're because, he said the thing to the president of Russia. Oh my gosh, if this man did everything they ever claimed he did, he'd be Satan incarnate. There should be a little devil horn sticking up on all of his pictures. His hair should not be able to cover the satanic horns and evil. But he's not. He is not the devil. He is not this horrible thing. He is not the one that divided us like this. That was President Obama that did that. And then when he got elected, everybody's freaking out because they thought that their liberal psychosis policies were going to get turned around. And you know what? They were right. I did not like this man. I still don't like him personally. But he's been a dang good president in my mind. He's been trying to help this country and put us back where we need to be on the right track, and financially, independently, security-wise, militarily. He's got my vote in 2020, because especially when I saw the field of Democrats, I'm like, there isn't one sane person on that stage. The closest one is like Tulsi Gabbard, and she's still off the deep end on most social stuff, but she's not a complete lunatic. And there was a couple of others in the debates that were like, they're mildly okay. In fact, they were even in the debates going, hey, guys, I don't know if you realize this, but we sound like a bunch of crazy people. And that's the worst thing is, or the best thing, depending on how you look at it, is the Democrats, because of Donald Trump, look like crazy people. And they deserve to, because that's what they are. He's just forced them into showing what they are. None of their policies make sense. They're talking about trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in spending without any idea of how to pay for that or where to get it. You got Andrew Yang going out there saying, I'm going to give everybody in the United States $1,000 a month for the rest of your lives. Trillions of dollars. Where does that come from? Where does that come from? It'll get shunted back into the economy. But where did it come from in the first place? That had to come from somewhere. Somebody's got to pay for that. Well, we're going to pay for it. That $1,000 will not help our economy. That will not help our families. The cost of everything will go up. Everything changes, and it all ends up the same way. And the government just has more power and control in your life. Like we all want that. No thanks. So this impeachment inquiry, in my opinion, they're just handing the election back to him. The Democrats might as well just be serving it up to him on a silver platter, because every day they get crazier and stupider by the moment. And that makes them look like the absolute loons that they are. They make him look sane. Really? I mean, you've got Democrats turning away from the Democrats going, I don't know what you people are doing. I don't even like Donald Trump, but I sure as hell ain't voting for any of these lunatics you've got up there. You got one guy promising to steal everybody's guns by force. It's like, I don't think you want to try and do that, because you will get their guns, bullets first, and you'll tear this country apart. You try and take our guns away. That ain't not going to happen. Sorry. Buttigieg or whatever your face is. You're a loon. Or Beto O'Rourke or whichever one said. I mean, they're all basically saying almost identical same stuff. And it's just bad. It's all bad. And I was kind of hoping that maybe because they think Donald Trump's so crazy, they'd go the other way and start trying to become the more sane party. But his presidency has made them lose their minds. They are completely deranged now. I thought we might get back to the days of John F. Kennedy, where there were some Democrats with some reasonably normal policies that the entire country could get behind. And but no, they're gone full socialist communists. John F. Kennedy ain't coming back. I mean, I'd vote for John F. Kennedy now, because at least he had some sane ideas. Not anything these guys are doing. But anyway, so that's the week in review. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or if you want to discuss these things in greater detail, let me know. I'll do more in-depth videos on them. I'm just trying to cover the highlights of what happened this week, and that everybody else has made 60 or 70 videos on each one of these subjects, and I didn't want to do that because it just seems like it gets a little old. But please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed, and make sure that you check back under your subscriptions to look to see when I've posted new videos, because I did some global warming videos, YouTube is like basically shunting me into the back, where they're not suggesting me anymore. They're not trying to help me build a channel or get more views or anything. This video, when I first tried it, the sound quality wasn't that good, but I had one view in 16 hours, and that was my view, to make sure that, because I always review everything that I post to make sure there was no mess ups in the transfer. So please make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. I know we say that a lot, but it really does help us. You guys are what makes this worth it. The engagement, the comments, the things that you're talking about, it really makes all of this worth it. And we do it for you, not just for us. We do it because we want to be part of your lives, part of your day, to get in there and help you, to lift you up when you need lifted up, and to make you aware of the crazy stuff that's happening that you might need to know about. So anyway, get out there and have yourselves a great day, and we will talk to you next time. Bye now.